We have a viewer from Madison who wants us to talk about the daycare issue and problems in Minnesota. And this viewer is concerned about regulations that affect daycare providers. But there's also the issue of rural Minnesota needing more daycare providers. Let's start with you, Senator Putnam, daycare providers. And how do you see that issue unfolding in this session?
I'm going to apologize before I get going because this one's really important and I can talk for days. The
Oh, we
conversations
don't
I've
have
had,
days, but do the best you can.
I have been kind of thinking and working in the area of childcare for a long time because it's so incredibly important. Right now, just in central Minnesota, there's a waiting list of 5,300 spaces. There are 5,300 people, kids who can't get daycare right now. And when you think about the consequences of that for our workforce, but more importantly for the sanity of the people who could be going to work. If you could go to work and you don't know where your kid is going to be, you don't have confidence in your kid's care, that is a moment of incredible stress for you. And you're not being a good employee, but you're also not a happy person. So it is a profound and significant problem that impacts so many of us in our lives. But the question of regulations, I was talking to a good friend of mine, Becky. She runs a place called Live and Learn. It's a center. She says she doesn't like the regulations and the paperwork, but she thinks that they're important. She just wished she didn't have to do it all the time because it's extra work when she would rather be caring for kids. So something I'm working on right now is something called the shared service model. It's something that's been done in Wisconsin and was piloted in northern Minnesota at one point. And that's a way that you can build community and resources around daycare so that daycare centers and home care centers can all kind of share some of this labor so that they can focus on taking care of the kids. In Wisconsin, for example, they have regions where the state will contract with a tax preparer who specializes in doing taxes for childcare folks. And then that person is pooled in that whole region. And the childcare worker, the person who runs the center, doesn't have to do that part of their job anymore and can focus on kids. They also have more local ombudsman persons who will walk you through regulations, not in a context of judgment, but in a context of education. So there are tons of things that we can do to make life easier on the people who are taking care of our kids. And just one last editorial, if I may. For too long, we have treated the care industries as if the care was adequate compensation for them doing their job. Is that it's okay that if you want to be around kids, you don't have to get paid fair. That's not okay either. So something else I'd like to see us do is something we did for farmers, which was to allow home daycare centers to form co-ops with other daycare centers so they can buy health insurance for their employees. Little simple things like that can go a long way towards helping our childcare problem. And it's a huge problem, and we've got to do something.
Senator Rasmusson.
Childcare is a big issue. I had a neighbor reach out to me and talk about how their family was blessed with twins, and they couldn't find a childcare provider who could take both of their infants. And so they had to send twins to two different childcare providers. I talked to another constituent who had to quit their job when their childcare provider decided that she had had enough of the regulations and just quit the business. And for me, when you look at the data, when you look at the data in Minnesota and compare it to other states, Minnesota has higher cost childcare than many of our peer states. And one of the key driving factors of that is unnecessary regulations. This is actually an issue last session I worked on with former State Senator Kent Eakin, and we just especially saw in our rural communities that home-based, family-based childcare, the burdens that were being put on those individuals was really driving them out of the care industry. And so for me, we have to look at what other states are doing. I like what Senator Putnam's talking about, what we are can learn from Wisconsin, and make sure that we're not making it illegal to provide affordable child care in the state of Minnesota. And I think we need to make sure that as legislators, we're pushing the agencies and making sure that the regulations that they're putting in place are they have research behind them, that it actually improves outcomes, that it actually protects the safety of children. Because what I hear when I talk to providers is that they fill out a lot of paperwork that actually takes them away from caring for children instead of being able to focus on doing the job at hand. And so this is an important issue. Look forward to working on it, especially on the Human Services Committee here in the Senate.
Let me push you a little bit on that, Senator Rasmussen. Can you give our viewers some examples of specific regulations or requirements that daycare providers have told you that they think are unnecessary or create complications, whatever? Do you have some examples, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yes, yeah, and former Senator Eakin and I had a bill where we actually took some of the waivers that the Department of Human Services had put in place during COVID, and we basically asked the department, "Did you see any issues with these waivers?" And our bill would have made those changes permanent. A lot of it has to do, as folks know, the childcare industry is about people. It's about caring individuals in our community who want to care for their neighbors' children and to be a childcare provider. And oftentimes we put certain educational requirements, certain staffing requirements that add to the cost of care. And especially whether you look at staffing ratios or just the managerial process that individuals have to go through. There's a lot of streamlining that can be done, and there's a lot of additional flexibility that we can give to child care providers to help them better manage the staff that they have and the children that they're caring for.
Senator Putnam, last word on this?
Yeah, sure. In a sense, I mostly agree with Senator Rasmusson to a certain extent. I mean, I had a meeting with people who did home care a couple months ago, probably 65 people in a room. Each one of them did care in their own home. And for them, the issue wasn't regulations. Like I said before, it's not the existence of the regulations. It's the time they take to take care of them. And secondly, that they are sometimes enforced idiosyncratically. So one person says, I had this thing and I got caught. I had this thing, I didn't get caught. No one thought it was a big deal. Or the same inspector came by one year to the next, didn't find a problem with this the year before, but now did. That I think is fixed when we treat regulations not as disciplinary, but as opportunities for education. So that if we have the shared service model I was talking about before, you got someone coming to your house, looking through the house beforehand, saying, these are things that you should think about. These are things you don't need to think about. Someone who is running childcare does it by and large because they care about kids, not because they want to create a hermetically sealed, perfectly hygienic space, but they can do so better and better care for kids when they get helpful advice about how to keep their home safe.
And Justice Anderson.
Yeah, go ahead. Please do.
I would just add one thing there too. Parents are going to be the best judge of what is a safe, nurturing environment for their children to be in. And so I also think throughout this entire process, we have to empower parents, listen to parents, get their feedback as well, because frankly, they're going to do a better job than a state agency of looking out for the welfare of their own children.
I got to quibble on that one real quick. I don't know anything about what makes a safe stairway. I don't know what makes a safe stairway, and I'm glad that someone else does. You know what I mean? So I agree, Senator Rasmusson, that parents need to be involved in these kinds of things, but there's some stuff that I don't know, and I need someone else's expertise to help make that space safe in ways that I couldn't imagine it not being unsafe.